Greetings. Welcome to the Money Script Podcast. I'm your host, Johanse Harrison, financial advisor and financial literacy educator. In each episode, you'll hear incredible interviews and get tips and strategies that you can implement into your daily life to help you improve your money script and grow your wealth. Thank you for taking some time with me today. Let's get into this episode of the Money Script. Welcome back, everyone, to the Money Script Podcast. So happy to have you with me today. It's quarantine day 21, maybe 22. I don't know. It started off as a self-imposed quarantine, so we've been doing this as long as Northern California has. And it's been an interesting time. I mean, we have a toddler. Having a toddler is fun at this time. For those of you who are parents, a big shout out to all of you. This is fun. This is fun. And speaking of parents, Leila, our guest today, she is a parent as well.
A 2.5-year-old and a almost 2-month-old.
Not one, but two. I'm glad she had some help. She is
Married to my amazing husband, Marcus Morgan.
Alicia and I had a conversation with our friend Leila. She's in Northern California, business owner, mom, wife. She does it all. She's going to talk about embracing the chaos of these times.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leila Morgan. I am a health and nutrition consultant, as well as I own a healthy shake and tea cafe here in Northern California.
In Northern California. So you've been on super lockdown for a long time. So you've been on lockdown because we're not officially on lockdown yet. I mean, we're on a self-imposed one.
Well, she's
Alicia.
been on lockdown since she had a baby.
Oh, yes, that part.
Yes. See, I have, nothing feels different for me because I have not stepped foot out of this house.
Perspective. I love it.
Newborn. But no, statewide, yeah. We officially went on, they call it in-home shelter or something since Thursday, but the Bay Area, we're in the Valley, but the Bay Area has been on lockdown for over a week.
There's so many things that we have to talk about with the current events and ongoing conversations that Leila and I have had as mothers, as business owners, as women of the house. There's so many different directions we're being pulled in. And today, with everybody being in quarantine, everybody is kind of experiencing that. And there's a lot of transition, a lot of changes happening, some that are out of our control. And so I just want to create a conversation around what we can do to better manage ourselves, our households, the businesses, everything that we're juggling. I mean, you have a toddler and a newborn. I know that's a lot to juggle. You recently went through your own transition going from 1 to 2 while also managing a business. And so I wanted to learn more about your business that you have, your shake shop that you talked about. And I know you guys right now are definitely working on making an impact in the community with everything that's going on as well.
Yeah, it is a lot. And the biggest thing I would say is having an incredible team makes life so much easier. We are so grateful for especially one particular team member. His name is Mike Henderson. He has been holding down the fort physically at our shake store. It's called Chill Nutrition. And that's been super helpful because, as you know, having a newborn, we've been on lockdown and then now we're officially on lockdown. We just can't afford to get sick. My mother-in-law just got a kidney transplant. So our family, just with compromised immune systems, we cannot get sick at all. So with Chill Nutrition, we opened that location almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this October, to provide a healthy fast food alternative, a positive location for the community to come and get a healthy breakfast, something affordable. We actually opened up on the east side of Lodi, which is a lower income community. More so, that's where the people of color live. And we wanted to be able to serve the community in that way. With the circumstances that we're in now and the coronavirus, we have a lot of people who are not able to choose to be at home, like the frontline workers at the grocery stores and the gas stations and the hospitals. So we recently created a post on social media to receive donations for these people. And so as of Monday, we're going to be able to go out and give out immunity boosting teas, healthy meal replacement shakes to these employees. And we luckily are an essential business. So even though the state is on an at-home shelter order, we can still stay open. We're keeping our team safe, and we only take curbside orders. But it's actually been, we have not seen our numbers drop much at all, because it's like a highlight in people's day to get out, to go get a shake and a tea, and to get their good nutrition in so that they can be able to boost their immune system and hopefully fight this thing.
Love it, love it, love it, love it that you guys are reaching out to the community and just being there for all the supporters and everyone who is putting themselves at risk to support the community and to serve our community. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for that. So as a small business owner, you've shared that you guys are essential, but with that, you also have multiple streams of income. So I know that's something that you and I talk about a lot over the years, is just the value and importance of having multiple streams of income. What can you share with those that are maybe without work right now, that are looking to create something out of their passion, that are looking to really create that second income? Because, during this time and even in any given day, it's so valuable to have extra income or multiple streams of income in case something like this happens, so that you can save money, so that you can create more opportunities, more options for you and your family, and really thrive in that realm.
Yeah, we've been super fortunate to be able to have amazing mentors and people like you guys who have a financial business. We do have multiple streams of income, and it's just been the smart decision for years. We've been focusing on what if something happens, right? And today's that day. What if something happens? Like you said, my husband is a full-time worker for the state of California. His job, thank God, is an essential business. He works in the Department of Corrections, so we can't shut that down at all. And he works at home as well. He does real estate on the side. We do have rental properties that also bring in income. And then my nutrition and health business that I've been building for the last 10 years. And then we have our brick and mortar, which I would say I was the most worried about, being a brick and mortar and relying on the customers coming in to, pay the bills and to get the profit. Do you want to do that over?
What is that? Is that Marcus?
That's our alarm.
Oh.
It sounds like, oh, shit, is what I heard.
Oh, I thought he was saying, oh, shit, too. Oh. That's awesome.
We have the same thing.
I think he's going to come. He's outside for some reason, but I think he's going to come back in.
So I'm curious, when you said that as your door was sharing with us, when the all shit hit the fan.
And then that's the ring.
And there's the ring.
The ring will continue to chime.
That's all right. Like I said, we're all in the same position right now. You said the income. So Marcus's income, he's in essential business. It sounds like the brick and mortar, as you mentioned, what did you call it? What's it called? Chill Nutrition. So that's the business that you were most concerned about. Tell us a little bit more about that, because there's a lot of business owners out there that are freaking out. I mean,
oh yeah, totally.
In a recession, if we go into a recession, it's a lot of times it's the small business owners that get hurt, because the big banks and the big airlines get bailouts, but if you're, Leila, with your one little prop plane, you don't get a bailout. So right. What are some of the conversations that you and Marcus, your husband, business partner and husband, have been having around, what to do in a time like this?
Yeah, well, that conversation started the day we decided to sign the lease, right? So we thought about, if for some reason we don't sell one shake, a day, or for us, we knew how many drinks do we have to make in order to pay the bills. And that's the biggest thing that people who want to own a small business need to understand, is how much do you need to sell of your product in order to at least break even. And on top of that, we asked ourselves, if for whatever reason we can't sell anything, do we have the additional income to cover not only our mortgage at home, but our business? So we knew how much the rent was and all the utilities. And so that conversation was from day one. And then when all of this happened, we weren't sure if we were going to get shut down. So in the year and a half we've been open, we have been putting away. We have been making sure that we have enough money, at least 6 months of expenses saved up in the case something like this happens. Luckily, we are an essential business and we stayed open. Luckily, we have different ways to serve the community, like curbside, and we've built an amazing rapport with our community. They want to support us. They love the support for a small business. But unfortunately, there's a lot of businesses around us, like the nail salon that we are next door to. They're shut down. And so, in the hopes that they were able to save, I hope they did. And to Alicia's point of having something for that additional income that is helpful for somebody who wants to go the entrepreneur route, or who has a small business. In this time, we're all at home. Social media is the way to go. I don't know what the answer is for people who are trying to look for additional income. Luckily, the stores or the businesses that are thriving right now, like Amazon and Costco, like they're obviously taking on more employees, but it's really the great time to think about, what is my passion? I'm sitting here all day alone, or with my family,
or with the kids running around in the background,
or with the kids running around. Like, what is it that I can do to relate? There's so many people, like this podcast. You guys are going to air this podcast, and so many people are in the same boat. I'm stuck at home with my kids. Like, how can I generate income? Maybe providing activities on YouTube or Zoom or something. My best friend, she's a samba teacher and a capoeira dancer, and so she can't do her classes, so she's offering online classes. I told Alicia, I'm like, girl, you do yoga, like let's get you on Zoom classes, and let's get people, to give love donations or whatever, so that you're a light in their day. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
so it seems to me, just in general, there's just a shift happening. We have the resources that we need. And just like you said with the Zumba class, luckily we have the technology to really be able to stay connected. And so it's, how are we going to take advantage of that? And more so identifying what we want, because we're at home. We get to really tap into that. And I think this is just like a global awareness of really being able to identify what we want versus what we need. Because right now we got to focus on our necessities and meeting those immediate needs versus and we can't go to work and take care of the kids and things like that. How can we make those adjustments at home? I know for you and I, we've been working at home. And do you have any tips or feedback for the moms out there or the parents that are out there that are juggling working from home or trying to tap into that passion while they're at home and still managing their family?
Yeah, the brick and mortar that's a new endeavor, but like I said, my business that I've been running has been for the last 9 years. So I've been trying to figure out for years, how do I stay at home and be productive? And that's a challenge in and of itself, just as an individual, even if you don't have kids, because there's so many distractions in your home.
Is that self-discipline? Managing yourself throughout it?
Managing yourself, yeah, employing yourself. But I would say what I've been able to figure out now, having 2 kids and getting advice from moms who have been doing this way longer than me, who have multiple children, is you just got to embrace the chaos. And every day is going to look different. And it's okay if there's dishes piled in your sink. It's okay if your house looks like a tornado ran through it. And just fit in bits and pieces of work that you can. For example, Alicia and I, we communicate via this app. It's a voice app, so it's on Voxer. We get to communicate with each other at the convenient time for us. We rarely do live phone calls. We rarely do live video calls, because either my child's running amok or her child's running amok. I have clients all over the country. We use an app called Telegram, and we use iMessage and iVoice, and so they get back to me when they can. I get back to them when I can. We do a lot of recorded Zoom videos just so that I can get the message out to my team, even though I don't need to put on a live meeting. And fitting anything at any second of the day. Like my children are, one of them, I don't know where the other one is. One's asleep upstairs. I don't know where the other one is. She's with my husband. But this is my time to do this podcast with you guys. And Alicia and Yo are amazing. And I said, I'm going to get on around this time, and there might be a couple of breaks, and, just being super flexible and having the people in your life who you're about to meet with understand your circumstances too.
What's amazing is that if you were to think back, say 25, 30 years, if we had the same sort of pandemic, most of what we do wouldn't be able to get done. There was no Zoom. Cell phones were still in their infancy. Everybody didn't have a cell phone. Everybody didn't have computers and internet at home. So it's amazing how the times, how though it's unfortunate what's happening with the virus, with the epidemic or the pandemic, it's amazing how far we've come with resources to be able to continue to thrive. And I think that's the biggest point that you've been making throughout all of this, is that you have to just find out, with your passions, if you want to create some other source of income. But once you have your passion, you will find a way to thrive, even in the toughest of times. I had someone ask me, I have an office as well that I'll go to get the mail. And they were asking, like, well, what are you going to do about seeing appointments? And I said, I haven't seen a face-to-face appointment in months. Unless I really want to, I'll go, hang out with a client. But other than that, Zoom, like you said, recorded messages and things of a nature, and we're still able to get things done. So I love that.
Well, and I think just based off of Leila's shares, everything about her business, her family, creating what she wants for her family, it goes back to your why, right? It's like when you know the why, when you're connected to your why, you're going to figure it out. And in this day and age, the way things have shifted, we really have to do some of that inner work, that whether or not you've been doing it, but connecting passionately to your why. I know for myself and Leila, we've had conversations. Our why is our family. We want to be present with our family. We want to be able to provide for our family. I know we're first generation for our family as far as creating wealth. I know, Leila, you have an amazing background with your family and what you're doing and supporting your generations in your family. So it's just really, truly connecting to your why so that you can stay clear on what needs to be done. And at this time, we're not necessarily planning for 6 months, a year. We're planning for the next week.
Yeah.
So really not getting in that state of fear of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months or a year. Well, what's going to happen in the next week? We get to really be smarter about how we manage our business, how we manage our work, our family, our households. A lot of kids are at home on home study. Really, what is most important to you when you connect to that why? Is it your family? Okay, well, maybe you need to figure out a structure at home. So really, what does that look like for you? Also getting in that self-care, making sure you're taking time for you, because there's no way that you can continuously adapt to all the changes that are happening if you're not taking time for you, if you're not doing that inner work, if you're not breathing, or connecting, reaching out when you feel challenged. Reach out to somebody that's going to be that support for you, that's going to help you to think more clearly, to connect back to what it is that you really want so that you can take action and not feel overwhelmed in the state of the unknown.
Why are you snapping at me?
Because
I think that was
I was trying to make the transition, but it wasn't coming. It wasn't. I was that.
Okay, I think that was Alicia's signal that we're going to delete this part, and we'll go back. So the question you were asking,
to get Leila to share with some tips on.
Got it. Okay.
Taking care of your health. Okay, that's what I was trying to get
Wonderful. So before we go there, please, I have to ask, because we ask every guest on the show, what was your first memory of money?
Oh, man. My first memory of money? Got it. I'm going to go with this, but I'm sure there was an earlier memory, but this has popped in my head. I wanted to study abroad. I was in college and I wanted to study abroad in Greece. And I called my dad. And I think before this, I didn't really understand the financial situation of my family. I called my dad. I said, Dad, I want to go to Greece. And he goes, well, how much is it? And I was like, I don't know. And I went to this meeting. I don't remember the cost, but it was obviously in the thousands. It was maybe 10,000. I don't even know. And he told me we can't afford it. And I was crushed. I remember I went to UC Santa Barbara, so I was biking, back to class, back to, my dorm. And I remember crying and I said, Dad, I'm going to find a way. We have to make this work. And I think I did every single piece of research that I could. I applied for grants. I think I applied for some financial aid. And I made it work and I ended up studying abroad. But I think that was a huge awakening for me that I told myself I'm never going to let money really decipher where I get to go and what I get to do. And I think that was really the journey of like, I'm going to make a lot of money and I'm going to support my family. Because how many decisions did they have to make? Because I was 19 at that time already. In my 19 years of living, how many decisions did they have to make where we couldn't do things because of money?
And tell us a little bit more about your parents, because I know your family has a beautiful story.
Yeah. My mom is from the Philippines. My dad is from Morocco. And they both, at a very young age, I think my dad was 18 and my mom was 22, decided to leave their countries because they knew that they wouldn't be able to have the life that they really wanted for them and their future family. They actually ended up both going to England, not knowing each other, never have met. And they met each other there. And my mom was a waitress at this hotel. My dad was the bartender. They ended up meeting. They ended up getting married, had us move to the States in 1986. I was like 2 months old. And they were immigrants here. And it's funny now because now that I'm an adult and I'm married and I have kids, they're sharing more and more of what it took to make it in the United States. And they struggled. I had no idea. But they were talking about how they came with very little money and they had to start over. My mom was a teacher with a master's degree in the Philippines, and that didn't come over here. My dad has a 6th grade education. And so they did everything that they could to survive here. And now my mom is actually a couple months from retiring from the dental industry, and my dad has been retired for 5 years, which I was able to support him to retire from owning his own small business. So it's been quite a journey.
A beautiful journey. Love it. Love it.
What is your message to business owners, to moms, to families on what they can do at this time and at any time to just take better care of themselves?
Well, it goes back to what Alicia was asking earlier, just with taking better care of yourself. I mean, you don't have anything if you don't have your health. And I think that's why I'm super passionate about being in this industry. So I think this is a wake-up call for this, virus being around us, and who is at high risk. It's people with, obviously, older people, but people with compromised immune systems as well. But the best thing that we can do is focus on everything that you guys are saying, taking that time to exercise, taking that time to eat right, taking that time to meditate, doing all those things. And whatever you choose to do, if you're going that entrepreneur route and you want to find your passion and create whatever you want out of your passion, it's not going to happen tomorrow. And I think that patience piece is so important to understand. There are so many things. Like when I first started out, I was a substitute teacher. I had to do things to make ends meet. So it's not going to look glorified right now. If you're in this situation in today where your work let you go or your business shut down, and you're like, well, I want to be a YouTube star or, and get paid with millions of dollars of endorsements, it's not going to happen right away. So I think just having that grit and having that patience to, if you got to drive Amazon for a little bit while you create your passion and have the numbers come in over time, do what you got to do and still have that faith that it's going to happen if you don't stop doing the work.
Well, I love what you were saying about patience, because I really feel like that's the space that we all get to be in, is having patience, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months, 8 months, a year. But what can we do right now in this moment to create more of what we want, and kind of disconnect from that instant gratification, because we're so used to getting everything that we want right now.
Yeah, I got shut down. I tried to go to the store. We're out of eggs. And Alicia said, no, we're not supposed to be just running out all the time. And I said, oh, I guess you're right.
And you wouldn't just be going to one store to get eggs. It would be a hunt. And so
it'd be an Easter egg hunt.
Well, I think what also today is reminding us, two things are coming to mind. Is number one, you're talking about eggs. My neighbor literally just texted me today. I'm at Safeway and they have tons of eggs. Do you want some?
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
so
you're far away. Never mind.
We have this community. Are you being a kind person to receive kindness? And there's two types of people that are really surfacing up right now, the selfish and the selfless. And who are you? Are you that person that wants to take the 10 packages of toilet paper? Or do you see other people looking for toilet paper and maybe you're going to buy the one package left and you give rolls to the people that didn't get to have a package? You know what I mean? So luckily we are a part of an amazing neighborhood where everyone has each other's backs and we're making dinner for each other. So how can you create that in your community in this time of fear, in this time of lack? How can you bring abundance around the people that you're around every single day within that 6 feet social distancing? The other thing that's coming to mind is my husband and I have been talking about this for over a week now. Where is our money really going, right? Because I think right now we're really seeing, okay, what are the things that we don't need? Like buying a pair of new shoes totally doesn't matter in this time, right?
No,
Eggs matter.
It's the
buying
wants.
a new purse.
I'm sorry. It's identifying the wants versus the needs.
Yeah, identifying the wants versus the needs. And so, our world's going to be completely different after this, and eggs are going to be a delicacy. Toilet paper is going to be a delicacy. But I'm hoping the mindset of human beings is also, I hope we keep this, even though obviously this too shall pass. But for us, I know the commitment that we have to each other and to our household and our family, because we do financially support our parents as well, is, are we really spending our money where it matters most and where we can really feed our family for the most part, and not spend it on silly things. I've been leasing cars forever, and I've talked to Alicia about this, and we finally were like, okay, what's my lease is up in a few months. What's the best thing to do financially for our family? We have some cash to buy a car. We bought a car cash, and not focusing on a car note every single month, because we looked at that contract of how much we put into that car lease. I said, I could have bought a brand new car. No car note, right?
Well, it's looking for like the next thing. What's next?
Right.
What's new versus, okay, what is it that really makes sense for us, and shifting your spending and shifting your mindset. And I love that. And that's exactly the mindset that's gotten you to where you're at, that grit, where you focus on really what matters. And I think this is all teaching us to focus on what matters. We get so busy in our day-to-day, we're not connecting with our communities, we're not connecting with our neighbors, we're not connecting with our friends and family. We're too busy being busy on the go, where now we have, everything is quiet, right? It's quiet. I mean, maybe your neighborhoods are a little bit noisier because people are home with their kids and their families, but there's less traffic, less pollution. There's just a time that we can really take advantage of the quiet and the calm, and really identifying some of those shifts that we get to make in our lives, so that when we are able to leave our quarantine, really what's the mindset that we're going into our lives with, that we're going out into the world. How are we greeting our neighbors? How are we appreciating the food that we're purchasing, and the workers that are there, and the people that are cleaning, and just really showing love and compassion and gratitude to those around us, versus walking around with their head down and not connecting with those around us.
I love it. I love it. So, Leila, you mentioned that you have a fundraiser going on. Can you tell our viewers how they can support? Now, mind you, if you're listening to this in 2021, I don't know if that this link is still going to be active. But if you're listening now, what is the link? How can they go and support some of the workers in your community?
Yes, so we're taking donations to our Venmo, which is Chill Nutrition Lodi. And any amount helps, 50 cents, $1, $5, and all that money, 100% of the proceeds go to delivering immunity boosting teas and healthy meal shakes to the frontline workers in our community.
That's beautiful. And for those that that are in your local community, where is Chill Nutrition?
Chill Nutrition is at 480 South Cherokee Lane, Lodi. It's in the same parking lot as Planet Fitness.
And right next to a nail salon.
And right next to Lodi Nails. There's their hook.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for being such a pillar, to you and Marcus, for being such a pillar in your community. Thank you for being such a wonderful friend to Alicia. And I always have to bring up, you were my friend first.
Thank you so much for having me. And honestly, just so grateful that you guys bring so much value to all of your viewers. And it's so helpful, all of the information you bring. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you.
Love you.
Thanks for joining us on the Money Script podcast. Be sure to check out our other episodes, subscribe, follow, and give us 5 stars. Continue to send your financial questions on Twitter or Instagram at The Money Script. Go to moneyscriptwealth.com and schedule your complimentary consultation to discuss your specific goals and concerns. Financial advisory and investment management services are offered by Money Script Wealth Management PLLC, a registered investment advisory firm registered in the state of Texas and California and other states where exempt. The Money Script LLC and the Money Script Wealth Management PLLC and guests of the episode may have interest in the investments mentioned today. The opinions and views are expressed here are for informational purposes only. This material is educational in nature and should not be deemed as a solicitation for any specific product or service. All investments involve risk and a significant loss of principal. The Money Script nor Money Script Wealth Management offer tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney for specific advice about your situation. Until next time.